I aver only to a natural world and disavow constructs, artifices, and entities created by the mind and hand of man, when such may deem to bind or subject me to any power exercised thereunder. I understand, believe, and have come to know that there is no power on this earth superior to the personal power endowed to me by my Creator. There may be superior force designed to compel my obedience and compliance, but such force, when exercised by unjust power, is nothing more than naked aggression, tyranny, and evil. I reserve my natural right to exercise any and all means of self-defense, with any and all weapons or devices at my disposal against any and all aggressors that may result in harm or death to myself or others who may assail me. I reserve my right to possess anything I may call property that I have acquired by my own just, peaceful efforts, and which may consist of any plant, animal, mineral, composition, machine, device, drug, weapon, or product. I may possess such for my own purposes, defined by my own intentions, and that which does not pose an immediate threat or harm to the life or property of another. Any attempt to deprive me of my property will be met with defense thereof to whatever extent necessary to preserve such. I unequivocally declare that I am the supreme earthly authority over me and my physical person, spiritually bound to my Creator and subject only to the just adjudication by my Creator for all of my earthly transgressions. I am a sovereign power unto myself, posing no threat whatsoever to the just exercise of the like sovereignty of other autonomous, self-determinate people. I admit to having submitted to the demands and will of others who exercised influence and authority over me, at times to my detriment, without my full informed consent, but rather out of intimidation, fear, and ignorance. I do not acknowledge any authority, power, or jurisdiction as a consequence of my physical presence, wherever such may be claimed, nor submit to any of the aforementioned as a consequence of my actions in enjoying or exercising any of my natural rights in a peaceable manner. I do not seek the consent, acknowledgement, approval, permission, or recognition of anybody or anything in my display of honor or obedience to my Creator. The manner in which I worship, or the actions I may take in the exercise of any and all gifts, blessings, freedoms, or rights, I believe are bestowed by Him, God. I believe it is my right and duty to defend with force, if necessary, any intrusion or interference with my relationship with my Creator. I have not adopted or accepted any definition of rights, liberty, freedoms, or identity promulgated by any earthly power. I have not attempted to enumerate any of my rights as endowed by my Creator, for such a list would be too exhaustive to undertake and possibly construed by others to be a definitive list of my rights, which are indescribable, boundless, and beyond the comprehension of artificial constructs. It is my belief and understanding that the man-made artifice known as government once served a purpose in effecting a consenting people's desire for the mutual protection of liberty, life, and property. It is my belief that government is an anachronistic relic of a time where circumstances induced people to trade natural rights for privileges and benefits derived from the civil power. It is my belief that a pattern exists where government no longer operates under the intended desire of consenting people for the mutual protection of life, liberty, and property, but has deviated to a course of abuse, violence, theft, deceit, fraud, and coercion, operating to the detriment of those who choose not to consent, and to the benefit of those who seek out government as a proxy for effecting the pursuit and furtherance of various self-interests. I believe the only legitimate function of government of any kind to be for the mutual benefit of those explicitly forming such government and submitting to its jurisdiction for the sole purpose of protecting life, liberty, and property. Any other action undertaken in the name of any government that is inconsistent with the aforesaid concepts is unjust, unlawful, repugnant, and non-binding upon any sovereign man or woman. I believe that government is not sovereign, that sovereignty begins with the Creator, is bestowed to those who He creates, and cannot be surrendered, waived, transferred, or assigned to any unnatural entity that may then possess sovereignty superior or equal to that which created it. Therefore, it is not possible for government to claim the status of a sovereign as compared to that of the people who choose to create such a government. I recognize and understand that government has organized and mobilized a force comprised of individuals who are armed, trained, and presumably empowered with authority to enforce laws, edicts, proclamations, rules, ordinances, and regulations in the name of public safety, national security, common good, and police power, and other contrivances used to placate people into accepting an armed, standing presence designed to compel the obedience and compliance of the people. I recognize and understand that those individuals comprising of this force are morally bound, obligated, and reasonable in adhering to the laws of nature and respecting the sovereignty of others. They are assumed to be reasonable and responsible for their individual actions. I therefore assume that any action taken upon them against my life, liberty, or property is purposeful, intentional, and deliberate. I will deem any action taken by them against my life, liberty, or property to be an act of war. I will defend with force, to whatever degree and with any means at my disposal, and to whatever consequence possible, my life, liberty, and property against any and all actors exercising such force. I do not believe that I am a United States citizen, a citizen of the United States, a statutory resident, a statutory person, a taxpayer, or any other creature, fiction, subject, or definition found in statutes, codes, ordinances, or anywhere else that does not recognize a natural, freeborn man or woman. This statement shall serve as my affirmation/declaration of expatriation from the corporate government of the United States. I furthermore seek no benefit, exercise no privilege, pledge no allegiance, lend no support, swear not to defend, nor otherwise submit myself to any authority or jurisdiction of the corporate government of the United States. I am not the holder of, in possession of, claim no property right to, nor accept as mine any social security number, taxpayer identification number, driver's license number, or other identifying number used in administering privileges and benefits by government. Any prior reference to such numbers was in error and ascribed to in ignorance, and all such numbers, being the property of those agencies issuing such, are hereafter surrendered and rescinded. My name is not acknowledged by me to be Yolanda Yolette Wilkins in all capital letters, Fatimah A Mohammed in all capital letters, or Fatimah A Lillie in all capital letters. I am not the holder of, in possession of, claim no property right to, nor accept as mine any government issued or commercial document bearing a name that has Yolanda Yolette Wilkins in all capital letters, Fatimah A Mohammed in all capital letters, or